Hey guys, it's Luke here from 2029C, and I'm joined by.
Jason from 8889A.
And Liam from 1082R.
Yeah, and today we're going to be doing a match analysis of the R16 3-1 match from the Minnesota Signature event, which happened recently today. And on the Red Alliance, we have 2145Z, which is a fan favorite, alongside 5203G, which is also a fan favorite, right? They've both been performing really well and have been powerhouses of teams for the past couple years. And the Blue Alliance is two sister teams, 1028A and B. And the I think the major tournament we've seen them perform at last year was US Open. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep, I believe so.
Yeah, and
I believe 1028 faced you guys in the finals.
yeah. And what's interesting is this is actually a huge upset, right? 13 seed here actually beat the fourth seed, and I mean we'll just go to see kind of like what the Red Alliance did wrong here and what Blue Alliance did well, right?
Yeah, I mean, so immediately beginning, of course, Red Alliance go for the positive zones, and they have three goals. They have one in the zone and two that their robots are possessing. And usually, in these in high stakes matches, I've noticed that teams the alliance that usually that has three goals usually comes up on top because the third goal you have an extra scoring potential. You have more rings you can put on the goals. Since you can only have one positive goal in the corner, the extra goal helps you a lot with just the extra points that can help you edge out the other lines.
Yeah, I mean it was looking really good, right? Until right here.
Yeah, Red had three goals and they were just filling them up, and Blue had two full goals, but three is more than two, so Red is just doing better right here.
Another thing to note is there's only 2145Z is the only one that can score on wall stakes, which gives them a huge advantage because they can get those 9 points from the top rings, but also just score some on the wall stakes, which can't be descored or messed with by the opponents, which is a really big advantage. Unfortunately, though, as you can see, Pink Sparkly Unicorns' intake got jammed, which caused them to have to play a little more passively, which you probably should have taken advantage of that and started scoring on the wall stakes, but that slow reaction time might have cost them the whole game.
I mean, so we were earlier talking about how the Red had control of three goals, right? Towards the start of the match, it was doing really well, right? They're very well run at Alliance, and they knew exactly what they wanted, right? But the thing is, I mean, right here, they left an opening, right? Because Baker was kind of he didn't really have his back against the wall, didn't really have the goals pinned in the corner, right? The goals were, I think he's trying to get rid of the stack in the corner here, right? A big part of each match I saw was just trying to get rid of these positive corner stacks, these stacks of rings, right? And once you can get rid of that, you can really lock down the corner and make sure that nobody can really take that go away from you, right? But they weren't able to do that fast enough, and that caused them to waste more time and caused Blue Alliance to just easily grab one of those goals away from them and putting them into the deficit here.
Yeah, especially with that extra goal, Blue Alliance now has the edge, so they have more scoring potential. Red could still come back, but Blue is obviously just up because of that extra goal, and they can fill with rings. Red is just scoring here, but they're just obviously down. So 2145Z is the bot that can do the wall stakes, and that they should be doing that, and they should be doing that a lot sooner than they actually did in this match, which they're about to do very soon, right? So in the last 30 seconds. So, and they're losing out on a lot of scoring potential from the wall stakes, which could help them come back from the deficit of losing a goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely hard to see like in the moment, right? But the problem here, like, it's very clear as we watch the match that, I mean, they have all the goals are pretty much full now, right? And then as like 40 seconds emerges, every single goal is filled, and there's not really much he can do, right? He can either try to steal a blue goal and put it into negative corner, or he can score wall stakes, right?
Yeah, but 2145Z should have been going for wall stakes.
Yeah,
they had the ability to do so, and it was probably the easiest thing to do at that moment. So that was a big mistake on their part.
And I mean, yeah, here he tries to go for wall stakes, but I think it's just, I mean, I think he's probably panicking a little, right? And it ends up missing. And I mean, Blue Alliance does a great job of taking advantage of that and just like running in circles and just getting them off the wall stakes and just kind of nailing that nail in the coffin for Red Team.
Yeah, I know, and Red really just can't come back from this big of a deficit. An extra goal full with rings. even with the positive coins, they can't do anything about that. So
What's kind of crazy here is that blue actually didn't have a hang, and that kind of just goes to show that, I mean, a level tier 1 hang is not all that effective, right? We've seen so many teams drop a full loaded goal for that hang, and then other teams can just take advantage and just push that goal right into the negative corner. What do you guys think about that?
And I've also seen a lot of teams. I've really seen many teams be consistent at it as well. A lot of teams will still have their back wheel on the ground, and I just think that's something throughout the season people have to work on. Maybe elevating their bot further off the ground so it's less likely that it can just rest like that.
yeah, the hangs honestly aren't a very big part of the game, at least currently. Most teams can do them, but it looks like just not a lot of teams are actually been doing them in the matches themselves. Like, they've mostly just been focused on the goals and in the positive corners. This very interesting because since like the positive corners are kind of the main source of the points, and you don't really want to let your opponent get your goal and put in negative because that's a massive deficit. And we see many matches where teams are up the whole time and they get one goal in the negative corner and just lose just off of that. So.
I mean, I could totally see how I actually have a idea for like how one mech could have possibly won them the match here, right? So honestly, I think if Gremlin had a color sorting mech here, I think they could have saved a lot more time on getting the rings, right? They could have just pummeled through all those piles, and they could have just, didn't have to like just outtake here and then there and just like, make sure to dodge the blue rings, right? And if they saved the time there, I think they could have been able to assist Baker more effectively and just make sure that blue wasn't going to be able to steal that goal away, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think maybe it was because it's early season and they wanted to go simple, but I really think, like you saw in BarkBots, they had a fantastic color sorting system.
Okay, they just told us they didn't, but it looked like one. I'm pretty sure it might have just been their driver just reacting super quick.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll cut that part.
We won't cut that part. We don't have enough budget for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember what you said, so.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. What do you think is the takeaway from this match?
Thank you for the co-host Jason and the host Luke. We'll see you next time.
Okay, we'll see you guys next time.
Please subscribe.